Hey there! Welcome to Jackie Talks Horror. I'm Jackie, and today I'm doing a rundown of my 5 favourite horror comedy films. I've found horror comedies can be a bit hit and miss, but these 5 hit the right spot for me. If your favourite isn't on here, make sure to drop it in the comments below so I can check it out. This is all spoiler free, so don't worry if you've not seen these films yet. And just to be clear, these are in release date order, not a ranked list. A quick heads up as well, I'll be using IMDb images and clips from trailers throughout the video, and I'll put links to the trailers in the description below. So first up is Shaun of the Dead from 2004. This is the first entry in Edgar Wright's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy, and definitely a classic of the horror comedy genre. Deeply influenced by George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead films, it delivers the gore and the violence that zombie fans crave, as well as having countless nods to them sprinkled throughout. We follow Shaun, Simon Pegg, his best friend Ed, Nick Frost, and his mum, along with a couple of other friends as they try to survive an unexpected zombie outbreak. The characters are really relatable in this film and the acting was great all around. At its heart, it's not just a zombie movie, it's also a romantic comedy, with Shaun trying to win back his girlfriend while saving his friends, as well as having a lot of heart and emotion. It's definitely drenched in British humour at its best, with some great physical humour and has a simple plot that allows you to just enjoy the ride. There are so many iconic moments that will have you rolling about laughing, and the humour never lets up, the jokes keep coming scene to scene. The pacing is snappy with Edgar Wright's signature fast montages, clever editing, and brilliantly staged set pieces. Add in strong performance across the cast, striking visuals, and an epic soundtrack, and you've got one of the funniest, most celebrated and rewatchable horror comedies of all time. Next up is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil from 2010. Tucker, Alan Tudyk, and Dale, Tyler Labine, are 2 misunderstood mountain men just trying to fix up their new holiday cabin. Unfortunately, a group of cliché college students camping nearby mistake them for deranged chainsaw-wielding serial killers and react accordingly, leading to a string of over-the-top, gruesome and hilarious accidents. What makes this film stand out is that it's told from Tucker and Dale's point of view. Tudyk and Labine are absolutely stand out in this, and play the characters with such wit and charm you can't help but root for them. The chemistry and comedic timing really carry the film, supported by a sharp, clever script that keeps the comedy front and centre. The visual effects and gore are absolutely fantastic, but you could say this is comedy first and the horror is a happy side dish. But it's the comedy that carries the film nicely through its 1 hour 29 minutes. It's also a smart commentary on horror stereotypes and the danger of miscommunication. At a lean 89 minutes, it never outstays its welcome and works as both a parody of slasher tropes and a surprisingly sweet story about friendship. And if you liked Shaun of the Dead, you will love this one. Next up is The Cabin in the Woods from 2011. This one is a horror comedy darling, so it's no surprise it makes my list. On the surface, it's your classic setup. 5 college friends head to a remote cabin for a weekend getaway. But very quickly we realise there's something much bigger and much stranger pulling the strings. The film works through a series of slow reveals, so the twists don't come as a surprise, but they do still leave you absolutely in awe of just how inventive it all is. It's a surprisingly smart and fun movie, and The Cabin in the Woods takes every horror cliché we know and love, and instead of mocking them, it cleverly uses them against us, as the audience. The cast is excellent, and the characters well written. The 5 students are very well cast and very well acted, with plenty of fun sexy scenes as well as gore and violence, as you'd expect in a cabin horror. And there is good chemistry and comic timing between Richard Jenkins and Bradley Whitford's character. They are so enjoyable to watch, I could watch a full-length movie with them alone. The writing and directing is absolutely spot on, as Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon have a long history of successful projects, and both of them, separately, have directed and written many amazing films and TV series. The mix of practical gore and sharp visuals, and even the playful score, all work to enhance both the horror and the comedy. The camera work is awesome, and the score is a lot of fun and helps with the comedy with the odd music cue. The only thing this film lacked was some background on the events, but you are so engaged that you just roll with it. It does, however, leave you with a few unanswered questions. But this one is a must-watch for everyone, not just horror fans. Okay, so next up is The Final Girls from 2015. This has such a fun setup. Max, played by Taissa Farmiga, and her friends are in a movie theatre, watching Max's late mother in her most famous role in a horror flick called Camp Bloodbath, when an incident leads to Max to slash her way through the screen and into the movie. What follows is a sharp, funny and surprisingly emotional ride as they try to survive the film's clichés and rewrite the rules. It's a lean 91 minutes, so it never drags, and the characters are a joy to watch. But for me, the character that had me laughing the most was Tina, played by Angela Trimber. She really nailed that cherry pie scene, and from what I heard, that dance wasn't scripted. She just chucked a few Red Bull and went for it, and the result is absolutely epic. What really anchors this movie is a relationship between Nancy, played by Maylin Ackerman, and Max, which gives the story heart and raises it from just a spoof. The film pays homage to many films in a way that feels sharp and affectionate, rather than an over-the-top parody like Scary Movie. The movie balances its emotional beats with stylish visuals and some really great action shots, with splashes of gore and cheeky nudity that all lean more towards comedy than genuine shock. And since it's PG-13, it's actually more accessible than a lot of horror comedies out there. And this movie would make a great double bill screening with Cabin in the Woods, as they both take on their respective subgenre and mix it with the right blend of comedy and horror. Next up is One Cut of the Dead from 2017. A small crew sets out to shoot a low-budget zombie movie in an abandoned building with a past, only to find themselves caught up in a very real zombie outbreak. This Japanese horror comedy is part zombie flick, part mockumentary, and ultimately a love letter to the behind-the-scenes crew who make filmmaking possible. While the title suggests it was filmed in a single take, only the first 37 minutes were, and that opening scene is just the beginning of a much bigger and more surprising story. This is a movie that is absolutely worth watching through to its end, as it's told in 3 acts. The first act is quite slow and deliberate, with the second act doing the heavy lifting with the behind the scenes and character building, and the final act fitting all the pieces into place with a high energy and chaotic pace. It's absolutely worth sticking it out to the end. There's lots of blood and violence, as is normal with a zombie movie, but the emphasis is on comedy rather than the horror. The humour shines through from the acting, both the slapstick setups and the comedy of errors that comes with the bumbling crew trying to keep their production together. The cast is wonderful across the board, with standout performances from Takayuki Hamatsu as a frazzled director Higurashi, and Harumi Shuhama as Harumi, the director's wife. They both bring comedy and heart to the film. Cleverly choreographed and tightly constructed, it manages to feel both smart and heartfelt without ever becoming pretentious and annoying, unlike some films. It's best experienced knowing as little as possible going in, but if you're a horror fan or just love movies about movies, this is an absolute must-watch. Okay, so that's all for this video. Have you seen any of these films? Have you got a favourite on this list? Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what your favourite horror comedies are down in the comments, but remember to be respectful. And remember, this is only my opinion of these films. It would be a boring old world if we all like the same things. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and click that bell so you don't miss what's coming next on this channel. This is Jackie signing off. Take care, and see you next time.